All right, now look, I hate to be the one to have to say this, but she's officially lost it. She's officially lost it. She's lost her marbles, girl. Like, damn.
Like a station. Now all my bitches make it clap like ovation. I'ma keep this ass in rotation.
We start the episode, right? And I mean, complete silence. We see Lexi's face, and it's just like you hear Bobby in the corner talking about like, Lexi, we're ready. And I was like, it's gonna be so much mess. Just from there, I was like, this shit's about to be messy. So this whole entire episode was basically switching between like what happened in real life versus what is happening on the stage. But we start out at like Ruth's dad's funeral, memorial, whatever you want to call it. And you know, this nosy ass neighbor is all in Leslie's business, talking about, oh my God, y'all had life insurance, like, you know what I mean? How many times does Leslie have to say we gonna figure it out for Miss Mama's to mind her fucking business? Like, bitch, it's already difficult experiencing a death like that, and then you got this woman all up in your face. I was just like, girl, if you don't move, like she said she gonna figure this shit out, damn. And people talk like that, and they're not about to help you out. Like, they're not about to help pay for shit, they're not about to do shit. So Miss Mama's just being nosy. Anyway, because I will rant the entire video about that shit, and we ain't get started yet. But Lexi sees that. Lexi's a listener, she's an observer, she's hearing all of this. She goes to check on Rue. She finds out, of course, that, you know, Rue is doing her father's drugs, and she tries to cheer her up, like with a poem. She completes that quote for her: grief is a winding valley where every bend may reveal a new landscape. I was like, okay, that's cute. Let this darkness be a bell tower and you the bell. As you ring, what batters you becomes your strength. Move back and forth into the change. And I think that was really good, like really nice of Lexi to say those things or to read that kind of stuff for Rue while she's going through that difficult situation. Because like, yeah, the only other option that you have when you're going through difficult situations is either, you know, process the pain, work through the shit, find ways to deal with it to where you're feeling it and moving through it effectively, or you can run from it. And I think that kind of ties into what Rue was saying to Gia when they were like in the bed together. Where Gia was like, you know, are you ever scared that your like the memories of your father will disappear as you get older? And she's just like, yes, I'm scared of that. And Gia responds with, okay, well, how do you stop it? And Rue's like, you can't stop it. You can't stop it. So I think that's kind of one of the themes I noticed. It's like just dealing with the fact that uncomfortable things, uncomfortable feelings are going to happen. So it's like, are you gonna run from it? Are you gonna use unhealthy ways to deal with the shit? And I feel like we all do to a certain extent, but in Rue's case, the trauma was so intense, you know, that this is what she turned to in order to deal with it. But it's like, you still have to deal with the feelings at the end of the day, because you're never going to escape them if you don't process them. So hearing that kind of shit, I feel like it's never fun, especially when you're going through the actual pain of it. But I feel like for me personally, like as I matured, I'm like, all right, I only got two options: fuck myself up or deal with what's bothering me, you know? But it's hard to do that sometimes. So all of this is literally being replayed in the actual play in front of the school, right? So, you know, we see Rue's face and she does look a little comfortable as she's watching the play, but it doesn't seem, and of course, as you can tell from the rest of the episode, she enjoyed the shit. It doesn't seem like she's like angry at Lexi at this point. It just seems like she's like, damn, like this shit really happened. Like, so we get the names, and honestly, I'm just going to speak like they're the actual names and not the play names, because I feel like that shit will get confusing. But Lexi is Grace, Cassie is Hallie, Maddy is Marta, Kat is Luna, and Jade is Rue, right? I thought the whole thing was so funny with Bobby talking about bring the fucking letters out. Bobby is iconic. Bobby's so cool. Like, we need her as a fucking recurring main character. She's so like, I love her. But I love when they brought out the letters, and Lexi was like, our life. And someone from the audience was like, oh yeah, that's fucking cool. When one of the letters dropped, the shit was funny. And then Maddy gonna ask the obvious, like, oh, is this fucking play about us? Yes, girl, it is. And y'all about to sit back, relax, and enjoy, bitch. I hope y'all got some popcorn ready. So then we had this whole sequence with Lexi talking to Fez about the play before it actually came out, you know, before it actually was on the stage. And Lexi's talking to Fez like, oh my God, you think they're gonna be mad when they find out it's about them, you know, when they get in, but my intentions aren't bad, and blah, blah, blah. It's like, Lexi, girl, if you have to keep pressing Fez about this shit, like, oh, would you be mad? Like, you know the girl's not gonna be mad. You know you're gonna be mad. You know they're gonna be mad. Like, the girl... Like, you know that you're being messy, and you over here on the phone to Fez like, oh, well, do you think it's really that messy? Yes, girl, this shit is messy. I mean, at the same time though, it was cool. Like, it was an experience. You know what I mean? It didn't seem like she was being directly like trying to be an asshole, but at the same time, it's still asshole-like behavior to do some shit like this. I don't know how to explain it. It's like the play was good, it was cute, it had a message, but it was still messy. I absolutely loved the part where Lexi was talking about the fact that Cassie went through, and of course, this is within the lens of the play. I'm just, like I said, that shit's gonna get confusing real quick. If I'm talking, Hallie, bitch, I'm not doing that shit. So I thought it was really cool when Lexi was talking about puberty and how Cassie hit it first, and you know, she thought that since, you know, Cassie was 433 days, I think she said, older than Lexi was. Lexi was like, all I have to do is wait that amount of time and I'll look exactly like her. And the shit just didn't happen like that. I love when Cassie and Lexi's mom, I think her name is Susie, was cackling at how Ethan, right? Ethan played Susie in the play and came out there with a glass of wine and that wig, bitch. It was funny, and Susie was fucking dying laughing. That shit was funny to me. I love how this episode we got to see Lexi in her full element, like, cause in all other areas of life, it seems like she's, you know, she takes the kind of backseat, she observes. But the thing with observers is that they know tea. They know, even if they pretend like they don't know, they know everybody's fucking tea and they sit their ass down. But it was really cool to see Lexi being bold and being almost like an asshole a little bit, running a tight ship backstage. I thought that was really cool. But also going back to that puberty thing, it was interesting how Lexi chose to deal with that insecurity about her body as compared to Cassie, or I'm sure the rest of, you know, the beauty standards in general in this fucking society. It's interesting how she chose to deal with that insecurity. And it makes me think about how I and other people, you know, deal with insecurities as well. She told Cassie, yeah, I don't want to be this type of person who's known for my body. Like, even though she did want, you know, what Cassie had, like, or like I said, not just Cassie, other people, like, she did want that, but at the same time, I think both statements are true. It's like she wanted it, but at the same time, she did not want to just be known for that shit. But it's just like, oh, are you saying that because you ain't got it? But at the same time, I think Lexi's smart enough and has the personality type where she actually does not want to be just known for her body. But it's like, at the same time though, mama, you still wanted the knockers or whatever the fuck they was talking about. You see what I'm saying? So it's just, and even she admits that. She's like, I just didn't, even though that was true, I did not want what came with this shit. Especially because I feel like she sees that if you only base your self-esteem off of like your body or other people loving it or whatever, that shit is not a strong foundation. It's not like, of course, everybody finds refuge in their appearance to some aspect, and of course, appearance is important. But I feel like Lexi knows that it's not a strong foundation, even though it is so valued, you know. And like I said, everybody would love to present themselves and look good, whatever. But I think Lexi's the type of person that knows that if that's all you rely on, it's gonna be shaky, you know? In real life, we had this scene with young Cassie and young Lexi, like really young, about to get in the car with their alcoholic ass father. And while Cassie is just in the dream world, living her life like, oh, there's nothing wrong, nothing bad is here, nothing, you know what I mean? There's nothing wrong here, everything, we don't need to call mom to come pick us up, like nothing like that. She's just in her dream world. As long as, you know, I'm with dad, everything is fine, like everything is cool. And Lexi is just someone who's like, nah, I can see this shit. Then we move to this conversation with Lexi and Rue sitting on top of, you know, Fez's shop, whatever. But yeah, Lexi says, Rue was the first person who made me feel okay about not being cool. And she almost like was like, damn, I wish I could go back to that time where before my dad left and Rue's dad died, before all the fucking trauma, like when we were like actually best friends, but we were growing apart. And I think that ties into one of the next scenes where you had in the play and also in real life showing at the same time on the episode, like, you had Lexi's family, the whole entire family, Lexi, Cassie, her dad, her mom, like just dancing in their house, and how like Cassie's reaction to that, Susie's reaction to that while they were both in the audience, like, wow, I don't know. I feel like we all have certain points in our lives where it's like, damn, it was rough, but it wasn't as rough as it is now, bitch. Like, you know, like, I don't know, it was interesting to see that. Something else that was interesting to see was y'all favorite girl I'm just gonna read it because there's nothing like just reading the words that Cassie say. I don't think there's anything more beautiful than dedicating your life to loving someone. I think that's my biggest dream, to love you more than anything. She's saying this shit to Nate. she's saying, you can never scare me. And it's like, baby, he should. Like, girl, Nate don't scare you? Nate don't scare you? I am crazier. That's what you said. You might be for not being scared of Nate. What are you talking about? What is she talking about? But as much as I'm laughing, like, I understand, especially you talking about somebody who's like in high school, like, of course you're just dreaming of love, and I just want to be in love, and just you know, I can definitely understand that there are some people out there who are like that, who went through that, who are still going through that shit. Different people have different struggles, but this is definitely a struggle for Cassie. That's what I'm saying. There's nothing on this planet, nothing more beautiful than dedicating my life to loving someone. I'm like, bitch, I don't like people that much. Like, I love the scene when Lexi and Fez and well, Lexi was trying weed for the first time, I think, but obviously Fez and Rue were, they already knew game. So, but I loved just highlighting the difference between why, like the difference in how people use drugs or value drugs. Like, Lexi was just like, I hate that I cannot control my mind in certain ways when I'm like smoking weed, like, and Rue was like, bitch, I love that. Rue was like, actually, that feels good to me. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with you. The next moments, like I said, this shit is really scaring me with Fez and everything. I'm gonna talk about that situation, I think, towards the end. But this is what she said. All I could think about were the bad thoughts, the things that could go wrong, the people I could lose, and the camera is focusing on Fez. And I'm like, girl, what are you? Like, I will beat y'all up. Do not mess with Fez. Y'all listen, if something happens next episode, like, so now the next scenes, the next sequences, Rue says sup really quickly and softly to Jules when they see each other in the bathroom, but Rue was saying that they hadn't spoken, like they hadn't spoken since that whole situation. And Jules eats that up, like, oh my, she almost starts smiling, even though Rue made it so that she couldn't, like, Jules couldn't really say anything else or say anything at all because she pushed the motherfucking dryer, you know, so it was loud as hell and Jules couldn't say anything, but Jules ate that up, and she had to try and stop herself from smiling while looking in the mirror, like, oh, she said hi to me. Like, I don't know, I think that Rue is really in the wrong here. Even with all that shit going on with Elliot, it's just like, I think that Rue should really, I don't know, she gotta apologize. Like, she has to. That shit that she was saying to Jules was crazy. I hope they make up. I ain't gonna lie. It just feels weird. Like, y'all need to make up. This next part had a lot of people debating. So Rue's mom, and she was chowing down, them girls said on Twitter that she was chowing down on the butter pecan, the butter pecan ice cream, like all black moms do, you know? But she was chowing down on it, and these are some of the things that she was saying to Rue. Rue's mom was saying to Rue, she was saying, you broke me, Gia's not doing well in school, she's not sleeping, I have to focus on her, if I have to pick between losing 2 daughters and 1, I'm fighting to save Gia. She also said things like, I can't convince you that your life is important, you're gonna have to make that decision on your own. She was like, go ahead and fry every single brain cell in your head if that's what you wanna do, because I have to focus on, you know, Gia, I can't convince you to do something, and you're gonna be making your own decisions when you're about to turn 18, you're about to be out of my house. So it was just a lot of things, I don't know, that conversation just, I feel like for a lot of people it sounds familiar, especially with the way that she was saying it, like, go ahead, just do what you wanna do. So it had a lot of people debating because, like, while the things that she was saying was like, a lot of that shit was just true, some people had an issue with it because it's almost like, well, that's your daughter, like, you can't just leave her out here. Saying some of those things will lead her deeper into addiction as well, like, almost like, well, just kill yourself if you want to. And I do understand that perspective, and it definitely is a real concern, you know, especially you as her mom. Like, I understand it. I also understand it from the different perspective as well, where it's like, she's not a mental health professional to be able to deal with no shit like this. Like, Miss Moms was tearing down her door, flipping over shit in her house, and then now the behavior is starting to affect her other daughter, Gia. So it's like, yeah, it might not have been the best way to say the shit to her or go about it, but it's also like, damn, she's dealing with someone who's an addict, and it's just like, she don't have all the tools, she just don't understand. So it's like, yeah, I understand it from both perspectives, and I think that a lot of people, when put in tough situations, they make the best decision that they know how to. Sometimes that should be a lot of just talk, you know? Because last episode, she was literally on the phone crying because she couldn't get Rue into rehab. So sometimes I think, you know, some parents, they just be, when they get mad, they just be talking like, girl, yeah, you can do whatever the fuck you want to do, da da da, yeah, as long as you out of my house, da 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 da. But then there's something where it happened to Rue or something, you know what I mean? If something happened, you see Leslie come out, oh my God, no, where's she at, where's she, you know? So I don't know, it's such a, I love conversation like that because like, yeah, I get it, I understand what y'all talking about, like, I get it, like, that's your daughter, hearing that kind of shit can probably make the situation worse or make her addiction worse, but it's like, I also understand, like, I can only imagine, like, the feelings of a panicking mom and, like, what do I do? Like, it's like being pulled in 10,000 different directions, and, like, Rue has to just really understand that she's not the only one in the house who experienced the trauma, who had to deal with her dad dying. Everybody in the house had to do it, you know? But, like I said, some of these traumatic things that happen, a lot of times it can be so easy to look from the outside and be like, well, bitch, why is she doing that? You know, any character, why is she doing that? Even Cassie, you know, like I said, as much as I be dragging, like, it can be easy to look from the outside at someone's trauma and be like, well, you know, whatever, like, yeah, that shit hurt, but you shouldn't act that way. You know you shouldn't do that shit. And it's just like, the shit don't be that simple. Life is not that simple. So back to the play, we see how Maddy and Cassie were like best friends. I think they were talking about 9th grade. They took up cheerleading. I love how we got to dig a little deeper into Maddy because of course Maddy is someone who exudes like strength and like, bitch, if you fuck with me, I'm gonna beat your ass type of person. Like, but at the same time, every episode we see how sweet and genuinely nice Maddy is to other people, you know? But like she said, Maddy's confidence, the fact that she was so sure of herself with everything, made it difficult to trust Maddy in the first place because it's like, how could someone be that confident, you know? But as they have the conversations, you start to see that Maddy's like, well, no one can tell if the confidence is real or fake. It's almost like, I feel like that's a defense mechanism for Maddy. And it's like, yeah, I'm not gonna let nobody fuck with me. And even if I have to fake it till I make it, bitch, like, I'm gonna stand up for myself. So, and she literally said, I just decided that I'm not gonna feel stupid anymore. I'm not gonna feel crazy anymore because everybody feels stupid. That's what she said, and it's true. Everyone has their doubts about themselves, their insecurities and shit like that. So I feel like she just said, I'm not gonna let that shit define me forever. So of course we switched to, because they had left it hanging for the entirety of this episode up until this point, we switched to the moment after Maddy found out that Cassie was messing around with Nate. And she, you know, Cassie runs upstairs and retreats. That's what she does. She retreats, she runs upstairs and she hides in the bathroom yet again. And it's just like, history repeating. Maddy's banging on the door. Open up the fucking door. Like, open up the door. What did she say? She was like, open the fucking door and tell me it was worth it. This isn't about Nate. This is about you and me and our friendship. And she crying, he put me through hell and now he's with my best friend. She tells Cassie, you're a fucking coward and I would have never done this to you. But it's just interesting to see how, you know, Cassie's dad leaving, Cassie's dad's issues, you know what I mean? Just the way that she dealt with all that shit, how it just shows itself in her life now. It's like she will sacrifice friendships and everything, anything, if it means that she gonna feel loved by somebody, by a man, by whatever, like, she will do that. And as angry as Maddy is, you can see that she's just like, I just want to talk to you. Like, why? How? Why? And I absolutely love Sydney's acting in the next sequence because, of course, Cassie's running to the mirror, you know, making sure as long as she look good, everything is all right, you know? Like I said, everyone wants to look good, but Cassie's like, bitch, I gotta make sure, like trying to hide all that pain and embarrassment when she ran out of the theater, trying to hide all that pain and just humiliation underneath a smile. And it was just so cool to see the actress just smiling and the tears falling down her face. She's just like, I'm happy, everything is fine. just down bad. And then of course we switched to the scene, which just, I was about to throw up in my mouth. She's talking to Nate, am I everything you wished for? You can control what I wear, what I eat, who I talk to. No guy can have me because I'm yours. I belong to you and I would never complain because I trust you know what's best. And even Nate was like, girl, you sound stupid. He was like, Aren't you afraid people are gonna look down on you? And Cassie says, at least I'm loved. She's like, all that rest of that shit don't matter. Friendships, deep friendships, best friendship, all that shit doesn't matter. At least I'm loved. At least I'm loved. Kat is camming again. Look, I don't know what's going on with her storyline. Sam Levinson, I feel like Sam needs to pay for the crimes against Kat, crimes against McKay, crimes against the actresses that are just like, hey, I don't have to have my entire titties and pussy out all the time. You know what I mean? Sam, girl, what is going on? What is going on? And now this next marriage sequence kind of confirmed, with Nate, kind of confirmed something that I had been thinking for a long time. Since the first season, there was a specific time where Nate and his father were getting, like they were, I don't know if it was fighting, but it was almost like Cal was holding Nate down in a violent way. Like, it seemed like they were fighting. But at the same time, I was like, girl, so we had this, literally about to throw up. We had this sequence with Nate, and he's in the mirror, but like his back is turned to the mirror or some shit, and he's looking into the shit, and he turns around and he looks fucking creepy as hell. Like, the darkness surrounding him, bitch, he looks creepy as fuck. Then, so first we see Maddy, her dress is kind of off, but then we see it's actually Jules. And then you see Nate holding Cassie down and ripping her clothes the same way that Cal did. And I was just like, Cal did to, I think Jules, Cal, that's how Cal operates. So I was like, what's going on? Immediately from that, I was like, what's going on? What's going on? Then you see Cal come out, then Cal come out. And I was like, okay, he finna fuck Cassie? No, girl, who's finna fuck Nate? And it turns out to be a bad dream, and Nate wakes up, and Cassie's there, and he just hugs her. And it's just, so the fact that, I mean, that's why I'm taking it, that Cal was sexually assaulting, rape or whatever, Nate. I mean, it just makes a lot of sense as to why, like, how a monster like that could be created. Of course he's gonna go off the rails. Of course he's gonna abuse and take his fucking anger out on anybody that he can. Of course he's going to manipulate, emotionally damage, try any kind of way to build up his fucking self-esteem. On top of that, he's queer too, and then he has to think about that in the context of his father. It's just like, of course he's mixed up in the fucking brain. I thought that scene between Samantha and Maddy was so sweet, where Maddy was just like, yeah, I'm gonna end up, whatever, leaving a job, leaving, what do they call it, East Highland, whatever. And she had to say, cause she's babysitting, so she has to say bye to the little boy. He's so sweet, you know? But she was like, I don't wanna break his heart. And Samantha was like, girl, might as well get him used to it. And I was just like, well, that's true. Life is about to slap the fuck out of your ass. They say their goodbyes, and then Samantha was just like, I have a gift for you. And I was like, what could it be? You know, and she was like, I have a feeling you'll like it. And she's like, it's a little smirk. And then I was like, what could it be? What could it be? And then as Maddy's opening, I was like, oh my God, it's one of the dresses. I bet you it's one of the dresses. I was like, it's one of the dresses. And then you see it's the same dress. It was so cute that she knew that she was going in there, like, trying on her clothes and shit. Obviously, I'm sure she checked to see if anything was missing. I bet Samantha was like, bitch, this whole cost a little bit more than your life. So I'm sure she first checked to see if anything was missing, but when she seen that nothing was missing, she was like, oh girl, I'll give her a dress. I thought that was so sweet. I feel like people remember things like that forever, but something else that somebody's gonna remember forever, Nate's gonna remember, I need a fucking hero. Ethan came out there. First of all, Ethan did a good job. The choreographer, I forget his name, but he did an amazing job as well. They talked about it behind the scenes. Bitch, the shit was funny. I mean, from the fucking penis punching bags to the fake, you know what I mean? To the confetti that's supposed to look like something else. To the dance moves, egregious, ridiculous dance moves. That's why I'm like, bitch, which high school that they going to that number one, they approved this shit? Cause ain't no high school on the entire planet, in the entire multiverse would approve no shit like this. The second thing is like, bitch, how much budget did Lexi have, girl? Like, where are the administrators? Where are the guidance counselors? Listen, we need to start a campaign for Euphoria High to get some guidance counselors, to get some proper administration. Cause bitch, what the fuck be going on? What be going on? So the shit was great. Everybody calling Lexi a genius for the shit. But then Nate gets the fuck up and walks out. He's angry as hell. And Cassie, of course, follows behind him like a little puppy. I'm like, Nate, where are you going, Nate? Bitch, the first words that this man gonna say, and it had me spinning around. He said, that shit was so fucking homophobic. Like, girl, I know. All of a sudden now Nate is a fucking social justice warrior or some shit, girl. Like, please, bitch, you was harassing Jules. Get out my face. Oh, that was so homophobic. Oh my God. How did you? Bitch, I was like, okay. Find someone who believes you, Nate, with that bullshit, because I don't. But at the same time, it's like, damn, trauma really fucks people up, because it's crazy what Nate has experienced at the hands of Cal and how that has manifested in his life. And it's just like, I feel like it's probably difficult for him to think of queerness outside the context of his father. And then so now when you're at school and you're being made fun of because your ass is gay, it's just like, damn, it's a complicated, nuanced kind of thing. But at the same time, I don't know how to think about it. Because it's like, there's so many people who've gone through some fucked up shit, like really terrible, unspeakable things. And they don't behave like assholes to everybody that they meet. Like I said, trauma definitely can influence the way that you live your life, and certain people can handle the shit. It breaks certain people, you know? But so I have to keep that in mind. But hurt people, and he has been definitely hurt, and he took it out on a lot of other people. But the shit comes around. What goes around comes the fuck back around, you know? And so that's why I said in the beginning of this, it's like, damn, do you deal with your trauma when you have the capacity, mental capacity, and it hasn't broken you? You know what I mean? Do you decide to deal with your trauma in a way that you fuck everybody else up around you and in your life, or do you find a way to process your feelings? That shit is easier said than fucking done. I don't know, girl. I don't know. What do y'all think about Nate getting dragged for being queer in front of? But I mean, at the same time, was it homophobic? I enjoyed it. But yeah, this was the last part of the episode where Cassie was like, oh my God, Nate, where are you going? And Nate turned around and said, hey bitch, get your shit out of my motherfucking house. You're not staying with me. She's your sister. She put on this show. You're done. You probably knew about this shit. It's probably what he's thinking. You're done. We're done. Get your shit from out my house. So as soon as Nate broke up with Cassie, I was like, Cassie about to shut this shit down. Because the only thing that matters to her has left her, and now her sister's in the auditorium spilling all their tea out in front of everybody. Girl, Cassie's going to walk up in that hoe. She's gonna walk up in that hoe. So I can't wait to see that shit. The last part I want to talk about is Fez, because Faye's in there fucking ironing and steaming his shirt. They button his shirt up, and then Custer come in there. Is that how you pronounce his fucking name, that motherfucker? Custer come in there like, okay, what the hell going on? Fez saying, yeah, bitch, I'm about to go out, but don't worry about where I'm going or what I'm doing, nigga. Worry about yourself. He sat his ass, Custer sat his ass down in the couch, whispering and winking at Faye and shit, whispering, be cool, putting the iPhone down, like, I'm obviously trying to bug they shit. And then Ashtray looking at Ashtray like, what? Do you think that I can't fucking see what you hoes are doing? Ashtray walking around there with that fucking box skirt. I don't know what he got. One person I don't ever want to fuck with is Ashtray. I feel like Ashtray will be their only hope against Lori when she inevitably comes back for that coin that Rue owes her. You know? Ashtray and Fez. Bitch, Ashtray done peeped the shit from 5 fucking miles away. Fezco just walking around here, just don't know, just fucking vibes and chilling. He don't see none of this shit going on in his own house. Just vibes and chilling, He too nice, man. Faye acting weird as hell in the kitchen, taking that glass slowly. After Custer told her ass to be cool, she over here like, are y'all looking at me? Like, it's over. The trailer for the next episode gonna have Fez lying on the floor, screaming, locked in some room. Bitch, Cassie and Maddy about to go and get into it. Cassie about to fucking shut this play down. It is a disaster, and I love to watch every moment of it. I didn't even realize that the next episode was the season finale until I started recording this fucking video, bitch. Mess. But yeah, that's it, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed this recap / my reaction, whatever. Make sure that you check out my Patreon at patreon.com/AdrianExpression. Make sure you check out my podcast with Ocean Kelly called Relatable Content on all your favorite podcast platforms. Stream my new EP, all that stuff. I will be here same time next week to discuss the finale. I love y'all so much, and make sure that you have a good goddamn evening. I guess we gotta find another show, huh? Yeah.
Hey, can you fuck me in your all black Mercedes. You can take my soul, just let me be first lady. But I won't sacrifice this pussy